Now for today's general reading. Now, the thing to keep in mind is that when I do these readings, they are for whenever you get them. They're not necessarily for the particular day. And with that, we move forward. Seems to be some complicated measures within the nature of the day. Now, as we start towards the middle, we have the King of Cups, somebody who is busy watching the play as they run the play. I like to refer to it as the William Shakespeare card, where not only did he run down into the cheap seats to stir up the crowd, but he also chided on his actors. This is an individual who is enjoying life and loves the show that he rots. So remember that as you're doing this, that you do not abuse it too much and go too far. What sits above is the inverted cube, Queen of Wands, which maybe the fires of life and creation have decided to complicate things to a manner where the flames are going out and the tinder doesn't burn as well. At this point, what I tell people is to remember to trust into the other creativities from the other side of energy. You don't necessarily have to drive so hard to create. What sits on the surface of that is the Contemplation card, the Seven of Wands. Charcy, no ma'am. The Contemplation card is often the nature of the learning in which you have picked up. The weaving is important, but with that is the understanding of the weaving as well. Sometimes this knowledge, when it's passed on to us, takes a while to digest, and as we process it, it brings on new enlightenment. And what sits above that is maybe frustration, the spoiling of what was on the vines. The crops that you've planted, as it were, are not necessarily doing as well as you'd like, and they're withering on the vine. What sits in between, or the crossing, is the saving card. Now, the challenge is for you to put money away ethically, and with that, build new resources. Below is the charge of responsibilities, the Ace of Swords. This is decisive appointment of what comes to the root of the matter. From behind, we have the inversion of the Three of Cups. Maybe celebratory actions are not necessarily something that you were privy to 2 or 3 weeks ago. And what comes to the future is the World card. It seems that all of the elements after you've completed this little challenge, that you were able to move in the directions that you want to move. Any direction is possible. With all of the elements in play, and with you completing the full circle, now you can grow and develop towards the new stages of development. Four of Wands, moving away from the collective group that you were interested in. Perhaps maybe you're pulling away because you have new interests, and you're outgrowing the group that you're with. And what sits with friends and families cards, this Six of Wands, they see conquest, or what I like to refer to as the Crusade card. And these two reflect upon one another, because not only are you pulling away, but they also see that you are moving towards greater things, maybe a driving goal. Hopes and fears, permanent imbalance, and betrayal. Are you pulling away too fast? Are you a void of those around you? Those around you don't see that. So maybe it's not betrayal. Maybe it's not something where you have to throw somebody under the bus in order to get away. That in due reality, you are just a little homesick. And the interesting thing is about the High Priestess cards in the 6 to 9 month position is it's inverted, which means that you get to your final lesson and you're at pause, and you're wise enough to stop and say, hey, maybe I need to think about this a little clearly before I just spout off whatever answer comes to my mind. And sometimes that's the way life is. You need to digest what you've done. So don't be afraid to do so. I don't see anything about holding up or not making a decision. So maybe the wisest decision in 6 to 9 months is to think about what has occurred and how that brings on new growth. Well, with that, I leave you with your new day, and please enjoy.